Hi, welcome back. And in our last video there, we just removed um the container that was hosting our application. And as a result of that, we can see that it's no longer available. We're unable to connect to it. So let's get back to redeploying it using our Docker file that we just created there. And okay, so yes. Okay, so we have our Docker file in place. So we already have the commands that enable us to create the image. Sorry, to create the container from our custom image uh, that we have. So the custom image was created in our last video from the Docker file that we wrote. Uh, so we now have our custom image, which we can see by Docker images. We have our custom image and our Tomcat image. So, uh, as in prior videos, we can, let's see here, history. Um, Custom name, Docker run. Yes, the Tomcat container uh, can be created using this command here. So, sudo docker run detached dash p 8080 8080 and the name is Tomcat. We'll create a actually custom container from our custom image that we just created there. So there's a spelling mistake. Oh, another spelling mistake. Custom container from our custom image detached. Itty name. Okay, so that should work. And now if we do docker ps, we should see we now have a container called custom image. And if we look at if we cat out our Docker file, it will have done the following: copied our var file to the web apps folder and copied all these files from webapps.dist to our web apps folder. And as a result, if we go back to our apps page, if we hit refresh, we can see that our project has been deployed using our Docker file to automate it so we didn't have to manually copy anything. And if we just do uh, Docker stop and then the container ID, and if we go to refresh this now, it should be down, which we'll see in a second. Okay, so if we come back to our server and then do Docker start and start that image and then go back and refresh, it should be up again. Okay, and it's up again. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to uh, stop the container one more time and then we're going to remove it. So Docker remove, and then we're going to Docker images, Docker images. We're going to Docker remove image uh, and image ID. We're going to remove our custom image. And we're doing this because it'll cause a conflict with the Jenkins job that we're going to build that's going to automate this whole process. So we need to remove everything. Okay, so Docker, yes, Docker, Docker, RMI. Let's remove the Tomcat image ID as well. Okay, so let's just paste that. Okay, so Docker, yes, blank, and Docker images are blank. Okay, so let's clear that and come back to our Jenkins dashboard. Yes, okay, so we go into our deploy the app server job and we would configure. Just wait on this loading, it's taking a little while. Okay, and scroll down to our publish artifacts over SSH. Okay, so what we want to do is just do history. Okay, so we want to take the build command that we had there. Let's copy that and put it in our execute commands. And we also want to take our command that creates our container from our custom image, and we will put that in there also. Okay, just as a reminder, because we've removed all the images and containers from our application server, this should be down if we refresh. Okay, so that's good. That's what we want. And if we hit apply and save and come back and go to build now and just let it do its thing. Okay, I finished green. So with a bit of luck, if we restart this or refresh this, boom. We've now created a Jenkins pipeline to automate the creation of uh, our Docker containers and to deploy our projects to an application uh, server. So congratulations, you've made your first Jenkins pipeline.